Nothing gets the blood pumping like shooting rats in a barn. Well, today we're after giant rats from an airboat. One of the reasons I love hunting is the sheer variety of places, people and of course quarry you come across. I'm in the deep south close to New Orleans. It's not famous for its big five, but it does have a big rat problem. Known as Koipu or Nutria over here, this South American monster rodent is a nuisance, destroying habitat and undermining the banks of the Mississippi. Reaching pest proportions, a scenario wildlife managers all over the world know all too well. Arthur is going to be my guide through the swamp, or bayou. I've really been looking forward to this high-speed adventure, but when I get on the boat, I feel less Captain America and more Captain Caveman.
When he's running around, you just grab him anywhere.
Okay.
You grab him and hold him down, then I'll come in the front. I'll grab him by the tail, and you do the honors or whatever, knock him in the head, however you want to kill him. Might try a few shots just to see what that bullet does. This thing.
Any special technique this way?
Right behind the head, like a rabbit punch on a rabbit. Right behind the head, right on top of the head. The body ain't gonna do any good. You just gotta hit him in the head.
Well, this is the first time I've ever been out clubbing small rodents to death. It seems like my guide is pretty experienced. He knows what he's doing. He's going to give me some pointers on technique, and hopefully we're going to help rid him of some swamp rats. But yeah, this is a unique experience for me. Yeah.
We meander our way through the channels in its teeming bird life.
So apparently these blue heron can swallow alligators up to 2 feet long. Toss them in the air, swallow them straight down.
Then Arthur hits the gas and gets this 450 horsepower machine flying across the water. He tells us that he and his son take about 200 alligators out of this water each year. Another source of income for him is tourism. Even the Nutria has its financial rewards. To claim a $5 bounty, he has to prove his kills to the authorities by presenting their tails. He's already been out this morning and picked off enough to pay for his fuel today.
So Arthur, tell me about the Nutria, the rats here. How much of a problem is it?
It's a very big problem. It's, the Gulf is getting ate up with that coastal erosion and everything, and the nutrients are eating their way out. They call it eat-outs. They eat the marsh and they stay in a certain area, and it's not no vegetation to hold the soil, so whenever the hurricane comes, it just washes the land away.
So how many do you take out a year?
We get thousands a year. We done shot so many, and a lot of the leases that we hunt in, the landowners comes back because it's closing up the duck bonds.
But I hear you get paid from. There's a bounty on their heads.
It was a $4 bounty, now it's up to $5 a bounty. So it's a kick in the butt. I mean, you ride around, get drunk, shoot rats all day long, it's a kick in the butt.
Sounds like a perfect way of hunting. And it paid for your diesel for wildfowling this morning.
Pay you to hunt, that's my kind of hunting, yeah. Give you an idea how many they got out there. 100 of them the first year they put the bounty on them. In 15 days of hunting, me and my son and a couple other guys, we shot 6,800 of them.
I think we found one of Louisiana's true characters here. Clearly these guys know this area inside and out.
Right there, it's all what they call the road. That's what a lot of duck hunters use to cover the duck blind.
And has a story to tell, which is awesome.
If you don't use Airboat, it's almost impossible to get through that kind of stuff.
Do you hear that? Looks like the only way to travel in and out of these hunting areas is via this airboat.
Oh well, I tried.
You'll be able to film him coming over the boat.
Arthur puts the airboat through its paces, and we finally arrive in Rodentsville, Louisiana. The Nutria are easy to spot, but like ratting elsewhere, they don't stay put for long. Like Hemingway with his first elephant and Roosevelt with his first bear, I'm about to get my chance with my first Nutria.
Right now. There you go, that's it.
Thankfully, it's a clean kill.
Done for that one. See the big choppers on it?
My goodness.
2 or 3 inches long. Actually bigger than a beaver.
They're actually similar to porcupine teeth.
Similar, yeah.
A lot of whiskers on there as well.
The fur is not a pretty fur like mink and everything, but they call it, when they make jackets and stuff like that, they call it a rough cut and a fine cut.
Yeah.
You take the rough hairs out, the big hairs out, the inside hairs are almost like mink. It's a real soft fur, but it's a lot to process it, so they don't give you much money for.
Yeah, there's not as much fur on there as I thought. It looks a lot thicker.
Yeah, it's certain down the ears a little thicker.
So, how do I feel about that? Pretty good. Saving the environment one nutria at a time.
Arthur spots another and he brings out a Ruger 1022.
Graze them and they kill it. God damn! How many shots are you gonna take to get one rat? Out of practice.
He peppers the bayou and finally gets his rat. This rifle is the most customizable rimfire in the world, and Arthur's is no exception.
A friend of mine did this. Got the bull barrel on it with synthetic stock and fiber optic sights. This is a high dollar 22. A regular 22 like this, a Ruger would cost you about $200 to $250. This one here probably was close to $1,000. I had somebody build this for me. A hunter that comes with me all the time. He took one of my old 22s and he used the guts inside and he redone it for me.
But the Ruger 1022 is a fantastic self-loading 22.
Yeah, but right now we're just using these 10 round clips, but they got 15, 25, 30, up to 150 round clips they got for these 22.
Arthur feels that my initiation is over and I can now safely move from club to gun.
Wait. Shot him up the ass. You gotta shoot him where he's going, not where he's been.
Thank you for your helpful words there, Arthur.
Bullets, hang on, put it on safe. Put it on safe, get ready. Close. You cripple him. Get him in the head. Look in front of you, another one. Look in front.
Big rat shooting can be tricky. Matching the movement of the bow with the fleeing rodent is a test for any hunter.
This is some of the most exciting vermin shooting I've ever done. It's actually pretty similar to shooting rats in the barn. As soon as they spot you, as soon as they can see and smell you, they are heading for the hills. So we've got a couple in the boat already, and Arthur's going to take us to find some more.
The nutria are easy prey for the predators of the bayou, including the bald eagle, which has just arrived back at this nest with one in its talons.
They feed on a lot of those rats. Especially when they're young, they'll come down on a nest up and swoop them and they'll grab one in each claw. They ain't too particular about what they eat. They'll get in those tall trees and they'll watch for rabbits, rats, snakes. They eat almost anything.
Sometimes the tables are turned and the pesky nutria bites back.
The worst bite I ever had on a nutria was one of my dogs. Dog bit the whole nutria's head. He swallowed the whole nutria's head. The nutria bit the dog from the inside the throat, had his teeth in him. I had to jump on the dog, hold him down, break the nutria's teeth, pry the dog's mouth open, and it took me 15, 20 minutes to get that nutria out of the dog's mouth, because every time the nutria would bite, the dog would bite, and it took me forever to get the nutria out of his throat. Left 2 big holes in his throat, but he lived through with no problem.
It's an amazing afternoon's hunting, and this awesome boat makes it even more of a crazy experience.
This is a pretty impressive piece of kit. Tell me a bit about your boat.
Been running for over 20 years. They got all sizes and shapes. My son got a little mini one with a ultralight engine like they put in the ultralights. This one is running a 496, putting out about 450 horsepower, and I got some that's got up to 790 horsepower. It takes a lot of horsepower in that marsh, especially in the summer when the marsh is green. It's real sticky. This time of the year when it's in the winter months, a regular 350 will run across the marsh anywhere you want to go. But it's able to go anywhere and everywhere. It's not like a regular boat. It's more like driving a plane than a boat.
And it'll run on land as well as on the water
yeah,
and the marsh.
Anywhere and everywhere. It's similar to a hovercraft, I guess. The hovercraft goes over the top. We just got enough power to push it across. It's a flat bottom with nothing underneath. You just run anywhere and everywhere. It gets you into places where the regular boats can't go.
Arthur and his machine were on hand when Katrina hit, and that's something he never wants to go through again.
I said we worked 3 days rescuing people in New Orleans till the military finally showed up with the airboats. We picked up thousands of people, took off of rooftops and then bringing them to the helicopters so the helicopters could take them out and bust them out. Seeing all the dead people, I want to see it for the rest of my life. They had dead animals, dead people, rotten sewer, and it was disgusting.
Time to tally up our haul of fur farm tearaways, and we need a cane knife for the job. We're not rich, but there's a few bucks for a beer.
I know it doesn't look much, but these are going for $5 a piece at the moment.
$5 a piece, yeah.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $25 for about 15 minutes work.
Case of beer, yeah.
Yeah, we'll split it with you, yeah?
On the way back to shore, we go through some spectacular Scooby-Doo swamp. Movie makers have used this location for years, and I'm even trusted with the rudder. Nutria may not have been top of my list of hunting experiences, but ratting on this scale is pure red mist action.
Now that's going to be one of the most intense vermin control exercises I've ever done. That was pretty sweet. Not only where we went and where we were shooting, but how we got there.